If you're trying to build or break a habit, there's a mindset that you've got to embrace or you're going to live in perpetual frustration. I'm Dave Fleming, and over 30 years, I've worked with a diverse set of leaders and industries, from two guys in a garage, literally, to multi-billion-dollar companies. During this time, I collected and curated wisdom that I want to share with you, because at the heart of it, we're all leaders. Let's figure this out together. Habits. We all have habits. We all want certain habits. We all want to get rid of certain habits. Perhaps you could right now think of your favorite vice, something that you really want to diminish or maybe remove from your life. Or you could think of a habit you're trying to sustain and develop, or maybe one that you've had going for some time in your life. Well, here's the thing about habits. There are two sides to the coin of habits. One is the doing, and the other is the avoiding. What? One is the doing of the habit. We all know what that is, right? We talk about that a lot. Habit formation, identifying what it is, coming up with the behaviors that are going to be important for you to practice on a regular basis to make that habit a regular thing. And then you're going to have to stay consistent. You're going to have to really stay consistent in that habit, because if you don't stay consistent in the habit, you're going to fail at bringing it into your life as a regular, almost flexibly automatic part of your everyday existence. I'm not so sure I agree. Of course, I do want the time horizon between my doing of a habit and my avoiding of that habit. I do want that to shrink, but I'm not sure it shrinks all the way to zero. I'm not sure in at least some areas of habit formation and sustaining of habit that we don't go through a natural cycle of doing the habit on a regular basis, and then we drop off. We avoid the habit for a while. I want to suggest that sustaining a habit requires us to be at peace and an understanding with the fact that sometimes we do and sometimes we avoid. Now, we all get the doing part, but let's talk about the avoiding. Do you practice meditation? I do. And one of the things I've learned early in my meditation practice and continue to see to this day is that if you sit down and you have any desire to meditate, you're going to bump into thoughts that do all kinds of things, run through the mind. And I might grab a hold of some of them and start to think about them and turn them over and put up a little cafe where we eat and talk. And maybe I might invite certain thoughts to move in. I hope those are good thoughts, because if they're not, they can really mess up my life. Sometimes when I'm meditating, thoughts will come in. Like this morning, I was sitting outside. I was listening to my favorite meditation app. Thank you, Sam Harris, for waking up. I was listening to that, and about halfway through, this thought went through. Wow, isn't it cool out? Isn't it really neat out? Oh, look over there. There's a palm tree on the other side of that house. You know what I ought to do? I ought to take a picture of that. I ought to take a picture of that, and I ought to put it on my Facebook feed. This was my meditation space this morning. And then I came to and thought, I'm meditating. What am I doing? Now, sometimes when people get distracted while they're meditating, or they become overly connected to a thought, they think, crap, I'm not meditating anymore. I say, oh, no. Yes, you are. Because part of meditation is the distraction. So meditation is both about this open space where we sit to realize the nature of our mind and understand that we are not our thoughts, and heck, we're not even the thinker of our thoughts. But also part of it is to understand the nature of distraction and how, I believe, distraction actually plays a role in helping us change. So at the end of that time, when I was doing the whole thing routine in my head where I said, I think maybe Facebook, I should put this on, it looks good. I just said, distraction, there it is. Now watch me come back to simply being present, or being present to my breath, or whatever it is I'm doing. And what I've learned at this point in my meditation is like, yep, that distraction, that's part of meditation. It's not a failure. It's not outside the bounds of meditation. It is part of meditation. Oh. When you get distracted in meditation and then you come back to your breath, bingo, you're meditating, because distraction is part of meditation. Now let's make that broader. Distraction in habit formation and in sustaining a habit, when you're distracted away from it, like, man, I only meditated once in 2 weeks, let's say, or I'm trying to really stay consistent to my exercise regimen, and I only did it 3 times in the last 14 days. So you tried and you avoided. Now, my guess is you should treat that exactly the way I treated the thought that I had this morning. You should say, when you come to and realize I haven't been faithful to practicing my exercise, you should just say, oh, I've been on the avoiding side of my habit. I want to get back over to the doing side. But the avoiding is, the realization of the avoiding is actually the first step back to the doing. You know how it sort of nudges you and pokes at you like, hey, you haven't done it. Hey, you haven't done it. Hey, you haven't done it. Try to see the avoiding as part of the experience of habit formation that can help you back to the doing. And try to close the gap between the doing and the avoiding. Avoid less. But when you avoid, don't beat yourself up. It just makes it harder to get back to the doing. Instead, when you avoid, say, yeah, of course. That's part of this habit. Back to the doing.